Imagine this. You are known as the kindest person in the room, always helping, always forgiving, always saying yes when people ask you for favors. But here's the truth nobody dares to tell you. This kindness is exactly what makes you weak in the eyes of others. Machiavelli, the master of strategy, saw through this illusion centuries ago. He knew that unlimited kindness doesn't make people love you. It makes them exploit you. Why is kindness dangerous when uncontrolled? Because most people are not driven by gratitude. They are driven by self-interest. The worker who always helps his colleagues with their tasks soon becomes the one who gets dumped with all the work. The friend who always forgives betrayal soon finds betrayal becoming a habit. The partner who gives endlessly, without boundaries, eventually becomes invisible, unvalued, and discarded. This isn't pessimism, it's observation. Machiavelli would say, men are ungrateful, fickle, false, cowardly, covetous. And when you ignore this reality, you walk directly into the trap of kindness. There's a psychological law at play here. People do not value what is abundant. If you are endlessly kind, your kindness becomes background noise. It becomes expected, taken for granted. But when something is rare, when kindness is given sparingly, strategically, it becomes powerful, memorable, and valuable. Think of money. A $100 bill is respected because it's not easily given away. If people printed infinite money, it would lose all value, just like your kindness does when you give it too freely. Look around in your own life. The employee who never refuses overtime is not rewarded with gratitude. He's rewarded with burnout. The student who always lends his notes to others finds that when he needs help, no one is there. The girl who is always available to her boyfriend, never challenging him, finds that his respect withers away. Unlimited kindness kills respect. And without respect, you cannot hold power. Machiavelli lived in the ruthless world of Renaissance politics, backstabbing nobles, scheming rulers, constant wars. He saw clearly what most of us still refuse to accept. People exploit weakness, but they fear strength. To him, the man who builds his life only on kindness builds his castle on sand. The first wave of betrayal will wash it away. Society teaches you the opposite. Always be kind, always be giving, always forgive. Why? Because society benefits from compliant, obedient people. The system runs smoother when you sacrifice yourself. But here is Machiavelli's whisper across the centuries. It is much safer to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. And what he meant was not that you should be cruel for no reason, but that you should never let kindness destroy your authority. So what do? You don't kill kindness. You weaponize it. You stop making kindness your identity, and you start making it your strategy. Stop saying yes automatically. Pause. Evaluate. Ask yourself, does this serve me? Stop forgiving endlessly. Forgive once, maybe twice, but understand that repeat offenders are not mistakes. They are manipulators. Stop helping everyone. Help selectively. Help those who deserve it, those who respect you, those who can create mutual benefit. When you treat kindness as a limited resource, you transform it into power. This is not just about how others see you. It's about how you see yourself. When you're endlessly kind, deep down, you know you're being used. You feel resentment building inside. You feel invisible. You feel trapped. That resentment is the proof that kindness without boundaries is self-destruction. The moment you set limits, you reclaim your dignity. The moment you stop being available to everyone, people start respecting your time. The moment you stop forgiving everything, people start fearing your judgment. This is not just about how others see you. It's about how you see yourself. When you're endlessly kind, deep down, you know you're being used. You feel resentment building inside. You feel invisible. You feel trapped. That resentment is the proof that kindness without boundaries is self-destruction. The moment you set limits, you reclaim your dignity. The moment you stop being available to everyone, people start respecting your time. The moment you stop forgiving everything, people start fearing your judgment. 1. Say no at least once a day. Train yourself to feel the power of refusal. 2. Delay your help. When someone asks for a favor, don't rush. Let them wait. See if they still respect you without immediate compliance. 3. Make your kindness unpredictable. Reward loyalty, punish betrayal. This balance keeps people cautious. 4. Invest kindness where it grows. Like a wise ruler, spend resources where they build alliances, not where they are wasted. Kindness is not evil, but uncontrolled kindness is a weakness so obvious that the ruthless will see you as prey. Machiavelli's first lesson is this: never be endlessly kind, be strategically kind, because when you give kindness without measure, you don't create loyalty, you create leeches. But when you control it, you create respect, and respect is the foundation of power. Ask yourself a dangerous question. Is it better to be loved or to be feared? For most of us, raised on fairy tales and Hollywood endings, the answer feels obvious. Love is pure, love is powerful, love is everything. But Machiavelli, standing in the brutal reality of politics, betrayal, and war, gave a different answer, one that shocked the world. It is much safer to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. Why? Because love is fragile, but fear lasts. Love feels warm, intoxicating, and deep, but underneath, it is unstable. Love depends on emotions, and emotions are the weakest currency in human nature. Think of the people you once loved. Where are they now? Think of the friends who swore loyalty until something better came along. Think of the job, the company, the system that promised to value you until they didn't need you anymore. Love changes with time. It fades with boredom. It disappears with temptation. And here's the brutal truth Machiavelli saw. People love you only as long as you are useful to them. When that usefulness ends, so does their love. Fear, however, operates on different ground. Fear is not based on emotions. Fear is based on consequences. If people fear betraying you, they won't betray you. If they fear disrespecting you, they will measure their words. If they fear losing your presence, they will guard it carefully. Fear is rational. Fear is predictable. Fear keeps people in line long after love has died. This doesn't mean cruelty. It means building an aura of consequence around you. Psychologists know that the human brain responds more strongly to negative reinforcement than positive. A child praised for good behavior may improve slowly, but a child punished for bad behavior learns instantly. This is not about parenting, it's about human wiring. Fear is primal, is survival, is etched into our nervous system. Love is optional. Fear is necessary. That is why Machiavelli insisted, if forced to choose, a leader must be feared. Look at the great rulers of history. Julius Caesar was loved by the people, but the Senate feared him. Love didn't save him from betrayal. He was stabbed by those closest to him. Genghis Khan was feared across continents. His soldiers followed him not out of affection, but out of awe and terror. His empire didn't collapse until long after his death. Napoleon inspired both love and fear, but the fear of his discipline made his army the strongest in AE. This isn't just about kings and emperors. It's about you. In your job, who gets promoted? The nice guy who everyone likes, or the disciplined worker who commands respect? In your relationships, who gets taken for granted? The partner who bends over backward to please, or the one whose silence makes others nervous? In your social circle, who holds influence? The person desperate to be included, or the one others fear disappointing? Love makes you liked. Fear makes you respected. Many will say, but can't you just be both loved and feared? Theoretically, yes, but in practice, balance is unstable. Love pulls you toward mercy, forgiveness, and softness. Fear demands authority, consequence, and firmness. If you lean too far into love, you lose authority. If you lean too far into fear, you risk rebellion. That is why Machiavelli's answer is so sharp. If you must choose, choose fear. Because authority without affection can still rule. But affection without authority collapses into chaos. But let's clear one thing. Fear does not mean being hated. Machiavelli warned, a wise ruler should make himself feared in such a way that, if he does not win love, he avoids hatred. That is the secret. Hatred leads to revenge. But fear, without hatred, creates control. So the art is not to be cruel for no reason, but to show consequences so clearly that people hesitate before crossing you. Fear doesn't always look loud. It can be silent. The boss who rarely speaks, but whose presence fills the room. The friend who doesn't argue, but whose silence after betrayal makes you sweat. The partner who doesn't beg for attention, but whose absence is felt like a wound. This is not rage. It is calm intimidation. It is the cold awareness that if they cross you, they will lose something valuable. 1. Stop seeking approval. The more you crave love, the weaker you become. Show people you are fine without them. That alone creates fear of losing you. 2. Build an aura of consequence. Don't threaten, don't shout, but let people know. If they cross you, the cost will be real. 3. Be unpredictable. If people can predict that you will always forgive, you are powerless. If they don't know how far you will go, they will tread carefully. 4. Detach from emotional begging. Love can be given freely, but the moment you beg for it, you have lost all leverage. 5. Let silence work for you. When someone wrongs you, don't always react. Sometimes, silence creates more fear than anger ever could. The strongest man in the room is not the one who shouts the loudest. It is the one who watches in silence, whose emotions are hidden behind an unreadable face. Machiavelli understood something most people never learn. To control others, you must first control your appearance. He advised rulers to master the art of appearing. Appear merciful when you must. Appear trustworthy when needed. Appear calm when chaos surrounds you. But never, ever show your entire self. This is the art of the mask of coldness. Human beings are emotional predators. When people know your fears, they use them against you. When they know your weaknesses, they exploit them. When they know your true feelings, they manipulate them. If you walk through life completely transparent, believing honesty will protect you, you are playing naked in a world of hunters. The truth is simple. The more people know about your emotions, the easier it is to control you. That's why Machiavelli insisted that appearances must be controlled like weapons. Not lies for fun, not deceit without purpose, but calculated masks to maintain authority. Human beings are emotional predators. When people know your fears, they use them against you. When they know your weaknesses, they exploit them. When they know your true feelings, they manipulate them. If you walk through life completely transparent, believing honesty will protect you, you are playing naked in a world of hunters. The truth is simple. The more people know about your emotions, the easier it is to control you. That's why Machiavelli insisted that appearances must be controlled like weapons. Not lies for fun, not deceit without purpose, but calculated masks to maintain authority. What does coldness really mean? It does not mean being cruel for no reason. It means being unmoved, unreadable, unpredictable. Coldness is the art of hiding your emotional chaos behind an iron mask. When insulted, you don't explode, you smile faintly. When betrayed, you don't beg, you go silent. When challenged, you don't panic. You look straight into their eyes and let them wonder what you're thinking. This coldness doesn't kill your humanity. It protects it. It tells the world, you cannot control me with emotions because I control myself first. Why does coldness create power? Because the human brain fears the unknown. When someone screams in anger, you understand them. You see their limits. You know their emotions. But when someone stays calm, when they don't reveal their inner state, you start to imagine what they might be thinking. And imagination creates fear far stronger than reality. This is why silent people often feel intimidating. It's not because they're stronger. It's because they are unreadable. The mask of coldness makes others project their fears onto you. They start to respect boundaries they cannot even see. Machiavelli wrote in The Prince, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are." This is the essence of a mask. The world will judge you not by your intentions, but by your appearance. So control what they see. Appear calm when you are furious. Appear confident when you are uncertain. Appear generous when you are calculating. The mask is not about faking life. It is about controlling the game. Look at the powerful people around you. The CEO who speaks slowly, with no rush, commands more authority than the manager who shouts instructions in panic. The poker player who sits stone-faced, revealing nothing, wins against the opponent who nervously reacts to every card. The leader who shows calm in a crisis inspires loyalty, even if inside he is terrified. Coldness is not cruelty. It is discipline in disguise. The opposite of the cold mask is emotional exposure. And most people live their entire lives exposing too much. They overshare on social media. They reveal their insecurities to people who later use them as weapons. They argue loudly, showing their weak spots with every word. They believe authenticity means being unfiltered. But Machiavelli would laugh at that. Authenticity without strategy is vulnerability. And vulnerability, in a ruthless world, invites predators. 1. Master silence. Not every insult requires a response. Not every question deserves an answer. Your silence makes others reveal more than you ever need to. 2. Control your face. Practice neutral expressions. Don't let anger twist your mouth or fear widen your eyes. The less you show, the more they guess. 3. Detach before you react. When someone tries to provoke you, pause. Ask yourself, if I react, whose game am I playing? Coldness means you never play their game. You force them to play yours. 4. Appear calm in chaos. The world respects the one who keeps composure when everyone else is losing theirs. Train yourself to breathe slowly, move slowly. Some will say, but if I hide behind a mask, won't I lose my humanity? No, the mask is not about killing your emotions. It is about protecting them. Your emotions are precious. They should be shared only with the few who earn your trust. To the rest of the world, you show discipline. You show control. You show the mask. The paradox is this. Once you master coldness, you actually gain the freedom to feel deeply because you are no longer at the mercy of others' reactions. When you master this, something shifts. People who once mocked you will hesitate. People who once demanded from you will become cautious. People who once thought you weak will wonder what else you are hiding. Fear does not always come from threats. Sometimes, fear comes from the mystery of the unknown, and the cold mask creates that mystery. Machiavelli knew that a ruler who reveals everything loses everything. A ruler who hides his emotions holds power. So learn this. Don't always be transparent. Don't always be authentic. The world doesn't reward honesty. It rewards strategy. The mask of coldness is your shield. It protects your emotions from being used against you. It forces others to respect boundaries they cannot see. And most of all, it makes you untouchable. Because in the end, those who control their mask control the world.